Well, guys, this is a video that I did not believe that I would have to make today. And to summarize my entire feelings about this situation, I'm sick. Nick Saban, as many of you already know, is retiring. Nick Saban is done at the University of Alabama as being the head coach. And I did not expect this. As somebody who honestly believed that every single year that we had Nick Saban, we were in contention, I don't know how to feel right now. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different questions. Why now? And I do want to preface my entire segment by starting with this. I just hope that there isn't anything health-wise, and I hope it's just because he was tired of being a coach. He is, I believe, 72 at this point, and that's it. It's just that simple. He was tired. He has been doing this for a long time. I think 28 years, if I'm not mistaken. And so to leave behind such a legacy, I mean, Nick Saban is the undisputed GOAT, a 297, 71-1 career record, 7 national titles, 11 SEC championships, 1 MAC championship, 5-time SEC Coach of the Year. I mean, come on now, this man has done it all, and throughout the years, it has been a point, especially the closer in age Nick Saban has gotten. I have done my best to savor these years because you never knew when this day would come, even though you knew it would eventually happen. And like I said earlier, I just hope everything health-wise is fine. Like I said, he is getting older in age. And at the same time, you know, there's a lot of chaos that is about to happen around Tuscaloosa. There's a lot of decisions that need to be made. I don't know who is in the hunt for this job. I don't know who Alabama may be looking at. This was probably something they knew fairly earlier than it was released, I assume. And so if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm hoping to hit 1,000 subscribers before April. That's my birthday month. I really do appreciate that. Now let's get back to the video. Thoughts, some suggestions have already probably been floating around Tuscaloosa, and I can say a few things. And in this video, I'm going to ramble a little bit, so stay with me. Also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Alabama fans, let me know how you feel about this entire situation down below in the comment section. So where are we going to go from here? And also thank you once again to Nick Saban, such a great coach. And like I said earlier, I'm sick right now and I'm still trying to gather my thoughts. This is my initial reaction, and there's a few names that have floating around already. The two that a lot of people are throwing out there are Dabo Swinney and of course Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. And to be honest with you guys, I don't necessarily believe that I want either of those guys. I think Lane has a great ability to recruit, and coming to Alabama could boost his recruiting status, and I think he can do an excellent job in that category. But coaching wise, he hasn't necessarily blown my socks off, but I will say he has done a fantastic job down there, you know, in Ole Miss. And then you have Dabo, somebody who has ties to Alabama, but at the same time, I think he's tied in Clemson, and these last few years showed me that Dabo Swinney refuses, as of right now, to adjust to the times. And so those are two people who right now I would not necessarily look at. But that's a wild shot. I'm not here to tell you who I think should be the coach right now. I'm just talking because this is my initial reaction and my mind is all over the place. And also, talking about coaching, what about the recruits? We have a lot of recruits who Nick Saban just talked to, and there's NIL with the transfer portal. There will be a lot of those guys who really wanted to get coached by Nick Saban. What happens to them? Do they leave or do they stay? Especially in an NIL era that we are in right now. There are so many different opportunities for kids to go elsewhere and play, especially if they feel like whoever they hire is not the coach who they want to be coached by. And so it's going to be interesting seeing the fallout of this. Will different kids leave? Who will stay? And I think the majority of the kids who were there before this last recruiting class will probably hang around and see what happens. But at the same time, I don't know that to be fact. We don't know what will happen because of this. Who will be the successor? That's probably the biggest question. But you also had to think about the players. If you find the right successor, it's going to probably take a few years to build it up, because if the kids decide to leave, what else is there left in terms of being a true contender in the SEC? I am somebody who has continually said the dynasty is never over unless Nick Saban leaves. If Nick Saban leaves, all bets are off, and so is the dynasty over? I think it is, in terms of the Nick Saban dynasty, because this is an entire dynasty all coached by the helm of Nick Saban. And so can the next guy come in and continue and build their own dynasty, we will see. But this is a closing chapter, and for Alabama fans to say, well, the dynasty is not over because X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying Alabama is going to go out there and lose and be bad. What I'm saying is, since Nick Saban is gone, that chapter is now closed, and we have to now essentially see how fast can you reset the dynasty. If you come out there and say they win a national championship by some way, somehow next year, then that will be the TikTok on a new chapter. And it's not necessarily dynasty, because the main head honcho of that dynasty is no longer there. Nick Saban was the dynasty. And so I'm hoping that whoever they find, whoever they get, can come in and rectify the ship as soon as possible. But there will be questions, there will be concerns in that locker room around that entire program that need to be answered. But we won't get any answers fast. Alabama is probably, more than likely, going to take their time with this. They're going to do what they can, because they know the expectation at Alabama is super high. But at the same time, I think fans do have to understand, depending on how the fallout is of this entire situation, how many players stay, who they find as a head coach, the SEC is not getting any easier. The entire landscape of college football has just changed with this new format to the playoff system. There will be more chances to win for teams, but there will also, on the flip side, be more of a likelihood that you could lose. And just because you're the better team does not mean that you're going to win the natty now. And so there's a lot of different question marks when it comes around this Alabama team that I think we just have to sit back and see what happens. And I've seen the reactions on Twitter. I've seen the reactions in different videos, and a lot of people just like me are simply sick. I know I said this already, but at the same time, oh man, all you can do now really is laugh and just think about how good this ride was. And I'm not saying the ride is over, but what I'm saying is the Nick Saban dynasty has officially come to a close, and there are a lot of different things we're going to talk about on this channel as the weeks and months go by. They hire a coach, if and when different players leave, who stays, all of that different stuff. And so now it's going to be super hard to make predictions about how the season is going to be. This is probably the most unpredictable season that we're going to see as Alabama fans that we have seen in a very long time. I did not see this one coming. The expectation at Alabama has always been to be a great football team, and now at this very moment, I'm not exactly sure how we're going to be sitting later on. If you keep the players, if we can keep everybody happy and try to make everything work, I think we will be just fine. But at the same time, to say that I expect to win a championship next year now, that I don't know, but I damn sure be rooting for it. Oh man, this is crazy. This is insane. This is unexpected. This is something that I did not think I would be making a video on right now. This is just my initial reaction. More videos will definitely be on the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Thing is the ultimate disrespect is when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game. It's our time. And there's a bunch of guys trying to take it from us. So that makes it shit personal. So let's don't be denied what we want. Let's go. Relentless effort for 60 minutes. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.